If every unstable SMP member fought each other, who would actually win? The obvious answer is Marlow, the #1 PvP player in the entire world. Marlow is ranked #1 worldwide on MC tiers. She dethroned its real me, who was considered unstoppable, and she's mastered literally every combat form that exists. Sword, spear, mace, crystals, KitPvP. She's better than everyone at everything. She even has a special ability that nobody else has. She can blind everyone around her before appearing, which means you don't even see her coming until it's too late. She guards the Mafia tomb in the far end, which contains thousands of elytra and shulkers, which means she has access to unlimited resources if she needs them. So obviously Marlow wins, right? Well, keep that assumption in mind because we'll come back to why it's not that simple. Now let's look at the other contenders who could potentially win, because there are several players who have abilities that could change everything. Its real me is ranked #2 worldwide, formerly #1 before Marlow dethroned him. He's tier 1 in almost every game mode. He trained flamefrags in advanced techniques, and he knows things that other players don't. Force grappling, horizontal pole catching, wind charge bee-hopping, entering the zone where combat masters achieve perfect focus. Its real me was hired by the director to assassinate Parrot and used a mace to kill half of the attacking bad players in seconds. The only reason he's not dominating the server right now is because he chose to retire after getting bored of winning every fight. But here's where things get interesting, and you want to remember this detail. Its real me is retired and was being hunted by the law, which means he might not even participate in this battle royale. If he does fight, he's definitely top tier, but if he stays retired, then the entire situation changes. Then we have wemmbu and flamefrags, who are constantly debating which one of them is actually the strongest player. Wemmbu has two maces named Gambit and Crucible. He has orbital strike cannons that can kill hundreds of players in a single shot, and he's extremely wealthy with multiple stacks of god apples. He's an elytra mace combo master. He killed 500 plus players during the 1000 vs 2 battle. He defeated flamefrags using orbital strikes canonically, and he's destroyed entire civilizations with his nukes. Flamefrags on the other hand is a combat master who's trained in multiple weapon styles. Sword PvP is his best game mode according to its real me's assessment. He's excellent at TNT, minecart and KitPvP. He's very good with spears, and he's mastered all 5 main weapons. But here's his secret advantage that nobody talks about enough. He has an orbital dark cannon that teleports thousands of wolves to his location. Every wolf is splashed with speed, strength and fire resistance potion. Every wolf wears armor. This provides chip damage, distractions and speed boosts through hitbox manipulation. He used this against wemmbu and 1000 law players and it was devastatingly effective. But before we continue, I want to ask you to subscribe. These analysis videos take hours to research and write, and subscribing would genuinely help a ton. Also, let me know down in the comments who you think would actually win this battle royale. Now here's something crucial that changes everything about this scenario. Let's talk about armies, because several players don't fight alone. They command massive forces that will absolutely be involved in the battle royale situation. Ashslag, before his defeat, led the biggest army in Minecraft server history, with hundreds of thousands of members. Every diamond player had a mace, all members were invisible at all times, and Ash had a master stasis. That meant if he died, everyone in the Mafia died with him. Lettucek commands the Law, which has over 1000 members just in reserves alone, not counting the main army. He has talented sub-commanders, sophisticated structure with reserves and regulars and elite lawmen, and he adapts strategy per opponent. He's not a top PvPer himself, but his army capabilities are insane. He sent 1000 players against just Flame and wemmbu, and even though they lost, that kind of numbers advantage matters in the battle royale scenario where everyone's fighting everyone. Clownpierce rules the Nether and commands an army that dominates an entire dimension. He has massive wealth from controlling ancient debris and netherite. He has Furry MC as his second in command, who's a top 50 worldwide player, and he has Empire backing with full army support. Clown is in the top 6000 worldwide himself and has killed thousands of players throughout his career. Keep these armies in mind because in the true battle royale, it's not just individual skill that matters, it's who you're fighting with and who's targeting you. This becomes crucial to understanding who actually wins. Now let's address the special ability players who completely break normal combat rules. True Original is a hacker with reality warping abilities, light speed movement, terrain manipulation, inventory wiping, player teleportation, cloning, disguise, time manipulation, enhanced projectiles, and more. He's nearly impossible to kill through conventional means. The only reason he died was because Parrot and Newfily used an invisible orbital strike cannon as a surprise attack. In a battle royale where everyone knows he's there, True Original could potentially just delete everyone's inventories and teleport away from danger forever. But here's the catch, and this is important, many believe True Original has admin connections, which means his participation might not be allowed in a fair battle royale scenario. If he's not in the fight, that removes one of the most broken abilities from the equation. Remember this because it matters for the final answer. Let's think about what would actually happen strategically when this battle royale starts. The first targets wouldn't be the strongest players, they'd be the biggest threats to everyone's survival. That means players like Wemmbu and his orbital strike cannons would get targeted immediately by multiple factions working together. Why? Because one nuke shot from Wemmbu can kill hundreds of players instantly, which means everyone else will want to eliminate him before he wipes out half the battlefield. Similarly, Lettucek and his massive lore army would become an immediate target for players like flamefrags, who has a personal grudge against them, or Wemmbu who they imprison, or Spoke who they've been hunting. The lore's numbers are threatening, but they're mostly inexperienced chungies from spawn, which means skilled players could farm them for kills while eliminating Lettucek's political power. Swag with the Mafia is interesting enough because his master stasis means killing him kills everyone in the Mafia. That's thousands of players eliminated instantly if someone manages to kill Ash. But remember, Ash doesn't wear armor out of confidence, and he relies on stasis chambers to teleport away when damaged. In a battle royale scenario where multiple elite players are hunting him, he might not be able to escape in time. Here's where dynamics get really interesting. Marlo is guarding the Mafia tomb in the far end, which means she's not at spawn where the battle royale would likely take place. She's isolated thousands of blocks away, protecting a tomb that she can't leave or thousands of players die from the stasis chambers activating. That's her biggest weakness, limited mobility. She doesn't want to kill anyone due to moral restraint. She's guarding the tomb, which limits where she can go, and she has limited access to guard apples and XP due to isolation. So even though Marlo is the #1 PvP player worldwide, she might not even participate in this battle royale because leaving the tomb means catastrophic consequences. Keep this in mind because it completely changes who actually wins. Let's talk about the players who thrives in chaotic scenarios. Theobald the Bird is the KitPvP master who trained flamefrags. He can clear huge groups of enemies, he has good defensive capabilities, and he's one of the richer players on the server. In a battle royale with hundreds of players fighting, KitPvP becomes incredibly effective for taking out multiple targets. But Theo has a critical weakness, he's resource heavy. Each card takes one inventory slot, and he struggles after his cards run out. Jademan has a mace and a Riptide Trident as his primary weapon, but he has a critical weakness that makes him nearly useless. He's weather dependent. Without rain, his Riptide Trident becomes completely useless, and he loses all his advantage. In a battle royale scenario, unless it's raining, Jaden becomes a much easier target who can't utilize his main combat style. Now let's consider the strategic players who don't win through direct combat. Parrot X2 is a strategic mastermind who creates innovative strategies on the fly. He killed True Original using an invisible orbital strike cannon with Newfily, which was the only known method to kill the hacker. Parrot's strength isn't raw PvP skill, it's unconventional thinking. In a battle royale, he'd likely try to form temporary alliances and use traps rather than direct combat. Spokeishere is the exploit master who destroyed the invisible Mafia stasis chambers. He has poor PvP skills and almost every fight shows him running and waiting for friends to help, but he might still have the command block in his ender chest that was never seen destroyed. If he has exploits available, he becomes dangerous. Without exploits, he's significantly weaker and will be eliminated early. So here's what would actually happen if every unstable member fought each other in a battle royale. The fight would start with massive armies clashing. The lost 1000+ members would engage with clownpierce nether forces and Swag's Mafia members. This creates absolute chaos where hundreds of players are dying in seconds. Wemmbu would immediately try to use orbital strike cannons to wipe out as many players as possible, but flamefrags, who has a personal rivalry against him, would deploy his orbital dark cannon and engage Wemmbu directly while he's vulnerable after launching strikes. Remember that Wemmbu ran out of orbital strikes after the 1000 vs 2 battle, so if he doesn't have them restocked again, he's limited to mace combat. It's Rumi, if he participates, would likely target target whoever he was hired to kill. The elite PvPers like clownpierce and furry MC will be fighting multiple opponents simultaneously. Clown has killed thousands of players throughout his career, but in a scenario where he's facing flamefrags and Itsurumi and potentially others at once, even he would struggle. Ashlag would be hiding and using his stasis chambers to teleport away from danger, but without his armor, if multiple skilled players like Flame or Its corner him, he'd have seconds to react before dying. And remember, killing Ash kills everyone in the Mafia instantly through his master stasis. Strategic players like Parrot would be setting up traps and forming temporary alliances. Spoke would be trying to use exploits if he has them, or hiding if he doesn't. Teal would be launching TNT minecarts into the massive army battles, racking up kills on inexperienced players. And Marlo, she'd either not participate due to guarding the tomb, or if she did join, she'd arrive late after blinding everyone, assess the situation with a supreme combat mastery, and start eliminating whoever's left standing. Here's the reality, if Marlo participates, she wins. She's the #1 PvP player worldwide. She has mastered every combat form, and her blindness ability gives her the element of surprise. The only players who could potentially challenge her are Itsurumi if he's fully focused, or True Original if his hacking abilities are allowed. But Itsurumi is retired and avoiding conflict, and True Original's admin connection status makes him questionable for fair competition. But if Marlo doesn't participate because she can't leave the tomb, then the winner is Itsurumi if he fights, or flamefrags if Itsurumi stays retired. Flame has the versatility, the combat mastery across multiple weapons, the dark cannon for crowd control, and the raw determination to never give up. He'd survive the initial army chaos, eliminate the strategic strats like wembu's orbital strikes, and outlaws everyone else through superior combat fundamentals. The dark horse winner is Parrot if he manages to survive long enough to salvage invisible orbital strike traps. He's killed the unkillable True Original through unconventional tactics, which means he could potentially eliminate stronger fighters through strategy rather than direct combat. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments who you think would actually win. And if you want to see more unstable SMP videos, check out the video on screen. Goodbye!